Why is it all taped off? What's up?
I don't know, John. Isn't this illegal?
What isn't illegal in Hill Valley?
Shh. What if Citizen Brown's watching?
Don't worry, nobody can see us here.
He's a peeping Tom. Ah, Dad.
Try to warn your old man the next time, okay?
it's just like the movie in Back to the Future Part 1. He was on top of a tree, and then he got hit by a car or something like that because he was being a peeping Tom. And that's how he met Lorraine. It's like, oh, that's so cute! Let's show him the picture of himself.
I don't think they'd be interested in a picture of my dad.
It is a picture of him! Why wouldn't he be interested in a picture of himself? When people show me a picture of me, I'm like, damn, that is one handsome looking motherfucker. Why wouldn't he? Jesus Christ, Marty.
I saw Mom downtown. She told me to give this to you.
Thanks.
Say, what gives around here?
You know, the usual. Keeping tabs on Hill Valley through my trusty bank of monitors. Always on the lookout for some interesting footage.
Interesting. What do you mean, interesting?
What kind of silly question is that? I've been gathering candid documentary footage for Citizen Brown's promotional videos for over a year now. I know your mother doesn't approve of my work, but wait a minute. You say you saw Lorraine? 11 to 12 hair salon, 12 to 12:20 lunch at Soup Mo counter, cream of asparagus with crackers.
What was that?
You know your mother's problems. If she slips up again, it could mean demerits for the whole family. There she is, polishing the statue in the park. Just like the schedule dictates. Oh, then everything's fine. Good. Unless... How was she when you spoke to her? Lucid? Sober?
Whoa, Dad, what are you telling me? Are you saying Mom's a drunk?
Shh. I don't know for sure that your mother has relapsed into her old ways, but she's been acting very odd lately, almost as if she didn't like my constant supervision. Confidentially, I suspect she's got a flask hidden somewhere, probably very near the spot where she's working right now. Do me a favor, son, will you? See if you can worm the truth out of her. She won't confide in me, but she may be less guarded with you. Double rations this week if you help your old man out. What do you say?
Oh no,
That's a good
something
boy.
about the
Okay, Dad,
flask
we
and
need
the
to talk.
Jennifer. Oh, she doesn't like me. She's gonna pin it on my mother, and my mother's gonna... No! I can see it happening now. It's like a train wreck happening in slow motion, but it's already too late for me to help. I'm sorry, people on the train. I couldn't help you.
It's about Mom. How'd she get to be such a mess? This isn't how she is in my perfect world.
You're right, it's a real puzzle. Because of course we both know Hill Valley is a perfect world, but for some peculiar reason, the harder I try to get her to conform to the rules, the more she slips up.
She's a rebel.
Don't you think Mom would be a little more relaxed if you gave her just a little bit of space?
Now, there's a fine suggestion. What would Hill Valley be like if people gave each other space? Why, we'd all be tempted to follow our own impulses, and there's no telling where that might lead.
Anarchy! Anarchy!
She's thinking about signing up for the Citizen Plus program.
Is she now?
You're not gonna let her go through with it, are you?
Well, from what I hear, it's a fairly drastic procedure which completely reshapes the subject's personality. On the other hand, if Citizen Brown recommends it, it's gotta be a good thing.
I was going to say it brainwashes them, but it seems like it already has. Like, or they already are.
Something on your mind?
Yeah.
It's about me.
I'm all ears.
Well, you got really only two.
Well, from certain things I've heard, I get the idea that people in this town regard Marty McFly as a
what?
nerd.
They said that?
In so many words.
Just because a boy studies hard and gets straight A's and respects the rules and doesn't party or drink or stay out late and is perhaps a bit socially inept and obsessed with personal hygiene and prefers his rubber band collection
Stop! I really don't want to hear anymore.
Yeah, you were
I'm
describing me.
Proud of you, son.
Love my motherfucking rubber band collection.
I'm trying to understand why Jennifer broke up with me in this time. Recent past.
Are you still mooning over that girl? Forget her! She's bad news. Why, my surveillance cameras have caught her doing things that... that are completely against the Hill Valley Code.
I don't want to know.
Kissing boys, sitting with boys in cars. I've kept quiet about it for her father's sake, but believe me, you're well rid of her.
I can't believe she would be kissing boys or staying in the same car with them. That is all. All.
Is there anywhere you expect me to be, like, right now?
Well, I did expect you to be up at the lake until tomorrow with that Math-O-Magic competition, so I guess your time is pretty much your own right now.
Okay, different subject.
Yeah?
What were you hiding when I came in just now?
Hiding? I don't know what you're talking about, son.
You're a terrible
Come
liar.
on, I saw it. It was a videotape, right?
I might as well tell you. After all, you'll be 18 soon.
Oh god,
Tell
is
me
it a
what?
porno video?
Hill Valley under Citizen Brown is not quite the contented town you were led to believe it was.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
This isn't a criticism of the great man himself, of course, or his sainted wife, Edna. No one's worked harder than they to apply the most advanced social planning techniques to our municipality. But,
What?
confidentially, not everybody appreciates it. A great many citizens, perhaps even the majority, actively resent the Brown administration. They don't say so publicly, of course. But in private, well, just listen.
I tell you, Bert, this regime is a joke. They're all laughing at us over in Fairfax.
A toast to Citizen Brown. May his beloved courthouse be struck by lightning. Shh, Agnes, you're awful. Are you coming to the town square, Lester? Citizen Brown's about to give another speech.
Citizen Brown can kiss my hairy...
Well, you get the idea.
Sounds like people can't stand what the Browns have done to Hill Valley.
Not everyone. Only around 50%, maybe 60.
Does Citizen Brown know?
He should. Whenever I send copies of my raw footage to the Public Relations Department over at the courthouse, I get a memo telling me how much Citizen Brown thanks me for my service. But how could he see those videos and not do anything about it?
Maybe you should take your tapes directly to Brown.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, sure, he might appreciate my bringing these problems to his attention and reward me for my public service, but then again, they say it's never wise to be the bearer of bad news.
I'll do it.
Why don't you give me those videotapes? I'll take them to Citizen Brown.
Thanks for offering, son, but I don't want to get you involved. Citizen Brown won't like what he sees on them, and I wouldn't want you to get the brunt of his displeasure, not to mention the displeasure of all the folks on the tapes. Once they find out I recorded them, no, I'm not letting these tapes out of my sight. It's too dangerous.
God damn it, man.
What's the deal with the house, Dad?
Don't know how to tell you this, son, but while you were away at your Math-O-Magic competition, our house got slapped with a CZ36 violation.
What?
I know, it's so embarrassing. Your mother's mortified. She works so hard to keep a clean house, but those dust mites are so hard to keep down.
Wait a minute, we can't go into the house because of dust mites?
Well, not until they send in the cleanup crew.
This is ridiculous.
Thank goodness they let me move my office out here into the garage.
Wow.
How exactly does this setup work?
I'm glad to see you taking an interest. Each of these monitors is connected to multiple cameras, of which I've strategically jacked into throughout the valley, with official clearance, of course. I can switch between cameras with these buttons. There's also a VCR for each monitor. I keep a record of everything I see, so if I happen across something intriguing, I can keep it on file.
Ah.
So, when is this dust mite problem gonna be solved so I can get to all my stuff?
Well, the cleanup crew said they'd probably get around to it by tonight, but they're kind of backed up, so I wouldn't expect them until tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow? Where am I supposed to sleep?
I got it all covered, son. We're gonna camp out back just like we did when you were little.
Okay, this timeline is officially a nightmare.
He said that out loud, you know.
Well, I'll leave you to your snooping.
Supervising, son. Supervising.
I'll leave you to it.
Right.
I hear
Right.
you got hit with some more demerits.
Break some rules. You can stop by finding Lorraine's secret stash,
Never
or...
trust a guy with less than 1,000 demerits, am I right?
What else was
Hey,
there?
what's my guitar doing out here?
Your mother and I convinced you to give it up,